So here's the girlies' chicken. They brought that back downstairs this morning. It was funny. They took it upstairs with them to play with it a couple different times yesterday, but they'd always bring it back down. And Ellie got up. It was about 1:30 this morning. She had to go outside. And my son Brian was still up, so I just hollered down the stairs for him to put her outside. And when she came back in, so I was upstairs laying in bed, but I wasn't back asleep yet. I hear this thing. I hear that. Just, you know, she kept chewing on it, playing with it. And I noticed I was hearing that same sound coming up the stairs, because she came up the stairs, it was in her mouth, and she just still kept chewing it. She kept chewing it all the way down the hallway, just biting on it, so it kept making that noise. And here she walks into the bedroom. By now it was about 2 o'clock in the morning, and you know, she's chewing on this thing, and Harry actually ended up waking up. But it woke up the other dogs too, and Lucy jumped out of bed right away. She must have thought it was playtime. So that's when I got up and came down here so Harry could sleep through the night. So the girlies are enjoying their toys. And somebody has been in my box, taken this out, and I wonder if it was Brian, because Brian knows all about these cameras. Harry got me this camera, and it's you cannot take pictures with it, he said. And so I know that. And then Mike and Brian, they know all about this camera, and they were saying this is what like athletes use, because, you know, it really is good for capturing, like, you know, things that are, you know, movement and everything, which was what a video camera does, right? So it doesn't take still pictures, it only does the videos. But this camera can supposedly be mounted places. I can mount it in my car instead of holding the camera like this. I can mount it onto things. Okay, I'm going to show you some of the things that I got for Christmas. Now, I have 3 candles that I got. I think Carly gave me 2 candles, and Brian gave me 1. Or maybe it was Adam that gave me 2 candles. Or Carly gave me a candle, Adam gave me a candle, something like that. And then Brian also gave me a candle. And Brian also gave me, I don't have it up here because it's downstairs, I put it away. I have one of those seal meals, and I use that when I vacuum seal the jars. I've showed that in videos, but I also vacuum seal things in bags, you know, for storage. So you get long-term storage, right? So I can always use those bags. And a box of those bags, like the gallon-sized bags, those things are like $12, I think, for 1 box. And so, you know, they're expensive to have to, you know, keep going out and to buy those. And he got me 2 boxes. So I told my husband, I said, Brian, probably what he did, he probably went over to the canning section, because I always even need canning jars because I'm canning and vacuum sealing things. And I said he probably went over there to get me jars, and maybe decided against it because, you know, that's big and bulky. How do you wrap that or whatever? I'm assuming, I'm guessing, because, I mean, what would make him think to get those bags? But see, those bags are right there with the canning jars, and he knows I equally need those just as much as I need the jars. So that was good thinking for that boy. So, and I even told him, I said, that was very clever. You know, that was a good gift. I mean, some people might look at that, you got me that. I mean, that's not anything personal, but it is personal because it's things that I use. So if I need it on a daily basis, or, you know, quite frequently, you know, it is a personal thing. So it was a very clever gift that he gave me. So that was nice. Harry was the one that got me the camera, and I'll finish later showing you what Harry got me, but we'll start with the other kids. So, like I said, I think Adam got me a candle, and Carly got me a candle, or Carly got me 2 candles. Okay, but we'll start with Carly. This was all in a gift set. When we went to Disney World in October, she got this for me. And it's a Minnie Mouse spa set. And this is, you know, the eye thing, you know, you put over your eyes. And this is body wash, lotion, body lotion, hand lotion, and then shower gel, and this is a shampoo and conditioner. And I'm curious, you know, how those are going to be, because I mentioned in another video some of the little hair, not hair, the shampoo and conditioners and the hand soaps that you get at the resorts when you stay there, and they replenish them every single day. We brought them all back with us because the shampoo and the conditioner is really good stuff, and that soap is actually really good too. So we bring all that stuff back. So I'm sure that this will probably be really good as well. And Carly always gets me these therapy bath salts, because I use these a lot to soak in the tub. When I lived in Chicago, my bathtub had the jets, so it was like a jacuzzi tub, and it was the big, you know, sunk-in tub. This one, it's called a Roman style tub because you just soak in it, okay? But my tub in Chicago was like that too, only it had the jets. And I would just go in there after a day of work, and especially if my feet hurt, you know, from wearing heels all day long, running all over the place in high heels. And I would just sit there and just soak in a nice hot bubble bath and put bath salts and stuff in there. But I don't have jets. So these salts, you know, they come in handy because you don't really have to have the jets to move the water. You know, soaking in Epsom salt and these bath salts are actually really good, you know, for, you know, your joints and things like that. So, okay, that's from Carly. And I mentioned what Brian got me. So then Adam got me this bath set. Has a body scrub, shower gels, 3 different types, and a loofah. Oh, and this has a loofah too. It's a red one. And then he got me this really nice long sweater. And I wore it actually yesterday. It's quite comfy and warm. And then Joe and Melissa, you know, they're newlyweds. They're just starting out. And I told them, I said, you know, don't worry about gifts this year. You guys are just getting started and so forth. I wasn't really expecting them to bring anything, but they brought us some of these, which was actually quite nice. And I told them, I said, you know, at Disney World, when you go over to Italy at Epcot, they sell those chocolates there. And I was going to buy some while I was there, and I started thinking about it. It's like, why should I buy those? Because that's one chocolate we can get in the States. So there was no reason for me to buy them, but I wanted them. And I just thought I'd just get them when I came back here, which I never did yet, but they got them for Christmas. So, see, there you go. So then, like I said, here he got me the camera, and now I'm going to show you what else he got me. This also came from Epcot at Norway, when we were at the country Norway. And these were things that I had picked out. I told him that I wanted them. Because he kept asking me, oh, I don't know what to get you for Christmas, and I want to do my shopping here. So I saw these that day that I was out with my friend Ruth, and so anyway, let me give you a little bit of a background regarding the country Norway. When you go to Epcot, their things are so expensive. I mean, you can go to any of those countries and the things that you purchase there are expensive, but Norway, I can never buy really anything at Norway because it's so expensive. You could go to like some of those other countries and get like a chocolate bar and spend maybe $5, $6 for, and it's not like a small chocolate bar, it's a good sized chocolate bar. But like you go to Norway and you'll pay $10 for one. Seriously, like $10 is like the cheapest for a chocolate bar. Their other chocolate bars are even more expensive than that. So that phone call was my son Adam, and while I was talking to him, I was looking out the window. Can you see through the drapes? Can you see the snow falling? Just in case, because sometimes these cameras, they don't show up things very well. But you can see now they're big snowflakes. I was mentioning we were at Norway, and I saw two things there that I want. Oh, I know what I was saying. I was telling you that Norway, their things are very, very expensive there. And I've always wondered why. And I had asked somebody a few years back why the country Norway's products are so pricey when you go there. And this is the answer that I got, whether it's true or not. But I was told that the import fees, because they tax and all their importation fees from any country come into our country, that Norway, they really tax them, or their fees are higher, or whatever it is, and I don't know why. But anyhow, I've never really been able to buy anything from Norway, not even a chocolate bar, because I'm not spending $10 for a chocolate bar. You know what I mean? I've been tempted to, but when I pick up the candy bar, it's like, oh, it's just $10. I'll just go and buy. But something always makes me put it back, because I'm like, I'm not spending $10 for a chocolate bar. Not doing it. So anyhow, I found these things, and Harry and I had an allowance. When we went to Florida, I said, you can spend $200 on me, I spend $200 on you. But now he was naughty. When he came back, he bought that camera, and I know that camera has to be pricey. And I told him, I said, when we get back home, we don't buy nothing for each other. We're buying here. See, I stuck to my end of that. But anyway, I bought, or had Harry get me, there's this purse, and then they had another purse. It was black, and it was styled a bit different. So obviously this is the Norwegian flag. Inside here, this was like a little gift set. There was this body and hand cream, and I showed this, I think, in yesterday's video. And I used this for the first time yesterday, and I really like it. Then there was this, and I showed in one of my videos, Gear Ness. I showed the board outside when he was there that day. He was there in the stores, and he was signing, like, bottles of things that people would buy. But, I don't get all wrapped up into all that stuff, and I didn't pay no attention. I just looked around and saw the things that I wanted for Harry to get me, and I priced everything out, and that was pretty basically it. I left. But this is his signature fragrance, and this smells so good. You walk into that shop there at Norway, and it just smells so fantastic. Every time that I've gone there that they've been carrying this, it smells so good. It's a very strong fragrance, too. You don't need that much of it. A little bit, and it'll last you all day. When we were there in October, my daughter-in-law, Melissa, she smelled that. She's like, that smells so good. I have to get a bottle. And she bought a bottle of it in October. So anyhow, I had Harry get that for me, and then I had him get this white fleece. This is Helly Hansen. Here's Helly Hansen's card. Helly Hansen, they make outerwear, and the outerwear that they make things where, they're thin, so they're not real bulky, but yet they still keep you warm, if that makes sense. Instead of like a real thick ski parka coat, they have them and they look like the ski parkas, but the fiber, the filling that's in there, it's not big and fluffy. It's whatever they use, it makes the coat, it's a thinner coat, if you understand what I'm saying. And it keeps you warm. They make outerwear for athletes, pretty basically. So like for people that are skiing, snowboarding, I'm not sure, but I think that Helly Hansen, that company does the outerwear for like their athletes that they send to the Olympics. I think that that's true. Again, it's something that I have heard, but because I don't know it for a fact, to me it's just hearsay, but I'm just saying what I have heard. But they also make like some of the jackets and outerwear that like fishermen would use, because up there in Norway, and they're up there surrounded by water, and they're fishermen and all that. But then people around the world, you know, buy those products too. So Helly Hansen, if you have heard of Helly Hansen, you already know about that product. But if you haven't heard of Helly Hansen, that's the company, that's what they do. Their products are good, like I said, because their coats, they're not big and bulky, but yet they keep you as equally warm as a big bulky coat does. Their outerwear is also very pricey. And it's pricey in the store. I was with my friend Ruth that day, and they used to live in the San Francisco area for several years, and they had a boat. It was like, I think, a 38-foot boat. It was, or if it wasn't that big, it was just shy, whatever the footage is, of being a yacht, really. But they had this humongous boat, and her husband Jim, he had Helly Hansen jackets that he would wear when they were out on the water. That's what Ruth told me. And she said, and in San Francisco, that's where we bought it, but they were even pricey here, but they're pricier, you know, at, you know, Epcot. But she said they're still pricey. So anyway, Helly Hansen, that's what this is, and it's a white fleece. I love fleece jackets. And this fleece, I wanted it as soon as I saw it because, well, it looks like velvet almost. When I was looking at the rack, I was like, oh, is that like a velvet jacket? And I was feeling, it's like, this is fleece, but this is like some of the softest fleece I have ever felt, and it's quite warm. So anyhow, without going on anymore, my Helly Hansen white fleece jacket. And I'll just tell you the price that I paid for it, or that Harry paid for it. The Helly Hansen fleece jacket, this was $90. But then by the time that Harry paid tax on it, it was pushing it up at about $100. And then this gift set was, I think Harry said it was probably about $90 some dollars. And then by the time that you paid tax, I think Harry said his whole bill came to $200.22. So he only went 22 cents over on this, but then he got that camera, like I keep saying. But this perfume there, if you buy this alone, I think it was like $70 some dollars, $75. And then I forget what they charged for these. So this gift set, it's almost like a gift set like when you go to Macy's or the Estee Lauder counter. You know, they have like a gift set that if you took every single thing that it will value, say like, you know, $60, but, you know, you can get it for, you know, $29 or $25. You see what I'm saying? And they usually do those promo things around Christmas. So anyhow, yeah, that perfume alone was like $70 some dollars. And then I got the purse on top of it, and it's actually a really nice purse. It's lined with silver satin lining. And then I got the lotion too. So anyway, that was my Christmas, and I was pleased with everything. I did all my floors yesterday, but I did not do this. So I do need to clean my bathroom today. And I gotta call my mom, and I think what I will do when I'm done talking to you here, I will do that. I will call my mom. I talked to her Christmas Eve because they're always, you know, with my brother's family and my aunt and uncle. And so I never really get to talk to them at Christmas. My aunt and uncle live in Akron, which is, you know, it's 50 miles away. So it's almost an hour's drive. Oh, can you see that? I think I was pointing toward the ceiling. My sister-in-law's family, let's just put it that way. They were getting together for Christmas Eve. And they usually do because they're Italian, my sister-in-law's family. And her dad is like full-blooded Italian. Anyhow, they do the whole Feast of the Seven Fishes and all of that. But as time's been progressing here, as we're all getting older and that kind of thing, see, like her grandmother's really old, so like she can't host those kinds of dinners anymore. All the aunts and uncles, you would think, well, you know, they'd still get together, aunts and uncles and all that, but she's got like a zillion cousins, and lots of aunts and uncles and that. But it's, you know, with her even, it's the same with her cousins. They're all married now. They all have children. And then you have, you know, everybody's got their sets of in-laws that it's hard to have those big families anymore once you start growing up. You know what I'm saying? And you have to kind of create your new memories, your new Christmases. So her dad is Italian, and he was hosting their Christmas Eve thing. And they didn't do the Feast of the Seven Fishes. I think they got about 3 or 4 of those fishes in there, but they didn't do all of them. But that's what my mom said when because I said, oh, they're going to do their typical Feast of the Seven Fishes. She goes, well, I don't think that they're doing all of them because her dad's cooking, and I don't think that he's doing all of them. And so that was right. My sister-in-law posted on Facebook yesterday what they had. I think they had like the calamari, they had smelts, they had, let's see, calamari, that's squid, what, right? They had the smelts, they had something else. Did they have clams? I forget what they had. But they usually eat like octopus and stuff like that. So I'm going about my house, and I'm starting to notice in places, especially on like my garlands, Christmas trees, you get little cobwebs because, you know, fall and the winter you get cobwebs. I don't know why the spiders like fall and the winter, but they do. Probably because, you know, they can't really get outside. So, you know, however it is that they get in our houses, you know, it's cold outside, they don't want to be out there. So anyway, I'm going to pass along a little tip of how to, well, with the cobwebs, the tip for that is just get a Swiffer and just, you know, pull them off. But also, after a while, your garlands will start to become very dusty. And my garland over here in particularly gets dusty because of the wood-burning stove. And I wish the lights were on so you could see a little bit better just how dusty they are. But here's the tip. I just use one of these air cans that you use for your computer to get the dust away off the computer. And you can have it with the little stick thing on there or off, it doesn't matter. But this is what I do. And if you get kind of close to it, you can start to blow some of this away. And I actually wished that these lights were on because I'm watching little pieces of things fly off of here. And I know it's not showing up on the camera, but ooh, there was some there that just, it flew off of there. I'll show you what I'm doing here. This pan I need to take care of relatively quickly. I need to get corn. So I had to stop quickly because I had to get the corn in here so that the butter wouldn't burn, even though I had it, you know, turned down. You can only leave butter in the pan for so long. So I have my corn going here, and over here I've got my water getting ready to boil, and I need to throw some water in there because, I mean some salt in my water. I'm making noodles, and my butter here is browned. Yep, I'm going to take it off. And I need to get this in another container so that the cooking process stops. Our turkey that was left over, I'm going to use that up. I was going to grate up my ham today that I will be needing for a recipe for next week for New Year's Eve, but I think I'll just do that tomorrow. I just didn't feel like it today. You know, I recorded a movie. I don't know if it was on last night, Christmas night, or if it was Christmas Eve. I think it might have been last night, Christmas night. I found a movie, it was called Silent Night. It's about the priest that wrote the Christmas Carol, Silent Night, and you know how he came to write that and everything. So I wanted to watch that. I didn't get to watch it last night. I recorded it, and it was actually quite good. I saved it. I think I might watch it one more time before I delete it. So the snow's gone, but it was nice watching it come down. So it's been a lovely day, my friends. And so now I've got to get on to finishing my dinner. And I need to get to my noodles in there. So I will see you loves tomorrow.